Friends, welcome back to biology. We are going to start our next topic, that is nutrition in animals. We know that our body needs a proper supply of food to grow and provide energy. The mode of taking in of food by an organism and its utilization by the body is what is called as nutrition. So just like plants, we animals, we also need nutrition. So let us understand the nutrition in animals. So let's begin. Now we studied in the last chapter that we have different types of nutrition. There are different modes of nutrition. Depending on the source of food, the nutrition is of two types. One is the autotrophic nutrition and other is the heterotrophic nutrition. So what was autotrophic nutrition? We studied that autotrophic nutrition is a mode of nutrition in which organisms they synthesize their own organic food, that is they produce their own food. Such organisms which can make their own food, they are called as self feeders or autotrophs. And we know that only green plants can prepare their own food, because we have seen that green plants in the presence of sunlight, they take in carbon dioxide from air and water from soil and convert it into organic food. So green plants are considered as autotrophs because they have chlorophyll pigment in them to absorb the solar energy. Let's learn about the next mode of nutrition, that is heterotrophic nutrition. In heterotrophic nutrition, we know that organisms they depend on other organisms for their food. Such organisms are called heterotrophs as they depend on plants and other animals for food. Here hetero means other and trophs means nourishment. The other organisms can be either plants or animals, herbivores or carnivores. Examples of heterotrophs are human beings, earthworms, cuscuta plants. All animals they are generally considered as heterotrophs, that is we cannot synthesize our own organic food. Different organisms they have different way of obtaining food, that is some organisms they break down food inside the body and then they absorb it outside, just like the human beings, cat and cow. Let us see how. We human beings, what we do is we take in food from our mouth. So food is taken inside the mouth, it passes through the esophagus, it enters your stomach. Inside your stomach the food is broken down into smaller particles, and then these small particles they pass in through your small intestine. They are absorbed by blood in your small intestine. So this is how we obtain our food, and then this food provides us energy. So this is a way in which we obtain nutrition. Whereas there are certain animals like cows or goats which keep rearing on the field. As grass and other green plants being their main source of nutrition, they eat it in large quantities during the daytime. But later, if you see them, they sit at one place and then they chew, they keep on chewing something, okay, even when they are not eating any food material. This is because their digestion happens in a different way compared to humans. Now just like you saw we take in our food, but they take it in a different way. Let's understand the digestion in cows and such animals. When cows they swallow food materials, they initially store it in a place in their digestive system which is called the rumen. Only partial digestion of food occurs in this process, and then the partially digested food is what is called as cud, cud. Once the animal is resting, it can take up the cud, that is it will bring it back into the mouth from the rumen and chew them properly for proper digestion. This process is called rumination, and these animals are called ruminants. These ruminants they have the special ability to digest cellulose. As we know, the grass is rich in cellulose, which is a type of carbohydrate. Humans and many other animals we are not capable of digesting cellulose. So the cellulose digestion happens in the rumen of ruminants, okay. Whereas other animals like sheep, deer, giraffe, etc., they all possess a rumen in their digestive system. Whereas other animals like horses and rabbits, they have a large sac-like structure called cecum, caecum, between the esophagus and small intestine. The cellulose in food is digested here by different bacteria which are not present in human. So the digestive system of different animals is designed in such a way which matches their nutritional needs and food preference. So here what do we study was animals, that is cow, sheep, etc. They have rumens in their stomach which stores ingested food, and the process of cellulose digestion will happen here. The food will be partially digested, and the partially digested food is called cud, and the process of taking up and chewing the food from rumen for proper digestion is rumination. Digestion of cellulose in these animals occur due to the presence of special bacteria in the rumen which is lacked by humans. We don't have this bacteria, but they have the presence of this bacteria in the rumen. Whereas other animals like horse and rabbits, they have cecum which also possess the bacteria required for digestion of cellulose. So this is how different organisms, they have different modes or different types of digestive system, and they have a different way of digesting their food. We are going to understand the nutrition in human beings and how the human digestive system looks like, or what are its function. Digestion or nutrition in human beings takes place in a special system which is called as the digestive system. The digestive system is made up of two parts, okay. The first one is the alimentary canal, and the second is the digestive glands. What is alimentary canal? Okay, canal means any tube. It is a long and muscular tube of varying diameter. Varying diameter means it is not same throughout, it keeps on changing, okay, and it is made up of muscle, and it starts from your mouth and ends to the anus. Whereas digestive glands, the glands, they are structures, actually they are not organs, and they keep on secreting something. They usually secrete enzymes. Now which are the digestive glands? The first digestive gland is the salivary gland which is present in your mouth. Second is the gastric gland which is present in the stomach. Third are the pancreas which are located behind the stomach, and last is liver which is located above the stomach. Okay, so on the right upper side of your stomach you can find liver. So alimentary canal and digestive glands are the two parts of your digestive system. Alimentary canal is a long muscular tube of varying diameter, of different diameter, starts from mouth, ends at anus, and we have four digestive glands, that is मुंह के अंदर salivary glands, पेट के अंदर gastric glands, पेट के पीछे pancreas, पेट के ऊपर liver. Now we know that our body includes many types of nutrition, and the body of animal needs the energy to work. So there are various types of nutrients which the body needs to produce energy. Now we are going to see what happens in the digestive system, or what are these nutrients. Now inside the human body we keep on eating complex food, okay. Complex food means the food molecules which are difficult to absorb, and these complex food molecule is converted into simple food inside our digestive system which is easy to absorb. The complex food nutrients such as carbohydrates, which is also called as starch, then you have fats, then you have proteins, vitamins, minerals and water. These are all provided to the body from the food what we eat. So animal nutrition is different from other organisms. Animal nutrition includes carbohydrates, proteins, fats, minerals, etc., which is completely different from plant nutrition. All these, they have their own importance in our body. We know carbohydrates, they provide energy to the body. Protein is the building block of the body. Fat is stored in the form of energy that the body uses when it needs energy. Minerals, they maintain the overall balance and health of the body. So that is the reason why different organisms, they make or they have a different way of nutrition. Okay, so these carbohydrates, fats and proteins, they are broken down into simple food molecules. Like carbohydrate is getting broken down into glucose, fats are getting broken down to fatty acids, and proteins are getting broken down to amino acids. So this is how the complex food which is difficult to absorb is getting broken down to simple food which is easy to absorb in human beings. Process of digestive system in human beings. The process of consumption of food for getting energy is known as nutrition. And we saw that different organisms get nutrition through different methods. In humans, nutrition is obtained with the help of digestive system. So the process of digestion of food in human occurs by various processes and steps. These is what we are going to study further. The 5 processes in digestion in humans are ingestion, digestion, absorption, assimilation, egestion. Ingestion, digestion, absorption, assimilation and egestion. Let's look at each of them in detail. The first process is the ingestion of food. So let's start. The alimentary canal begins with mouth. Just now I told you all that the alimentary canal and digestive glands are the two parts of digestive system, and the alimentary canal is a long muscular tube. It starts with mouth. We eat a variety of food items which has to pass through the same digestive tract. At first the food is taken through your mouth, and then you know that there are different varieties of food that we are eating. Okay, it can be dal, rice, chapati, pizza, burger, anything. Okay, and all these food items, they have to pass through the same digestive tract. Whatever you're eating out of this, some molecules can be very hard while some can be very soft. We have to do naturally, the food has to be processed. The food has to be processed means the food has to be chewed, the food has to be broken down so that the food can travel through to the rest of your digestive tract. It has to be processed to generate particles with small size. So let's see. The first step is the food is taken in through the mouth. We know that the first step, ingestion, as the name indicates, the process of taking food into the body. So the food is taken in through the mouth. So once you have taken in the food, what will happen? Inside the mouth, the food is processed. That means the food is chewed. And why we chew the food? To generate particles with small size. Okay, so that they can travel through the rest of the digestive system very easily. And then this food is, the crushed food is wetted with the help of saliva, which is secreted by your salivary glands, so that it can pass through the soft lining of your alimentary canal. Now after chewing and wetting the food, it can pass through the alimentary canal. But there is something which happens inside the mouth. The food is taken in, the food is chewed, the food is wetted so that it can pass easily. Now we know, or we said that the saliva, it keeps on wetting the food. The salivary glands, they secrete an enzyme called saliva. Saliva contains an enzyme called as salivary amylase. This salivary amylase, it acts on the starch component of the food, and it converts this starch into a simple sugar, that is maltose. So your food is sent to the food pipe for the other processes of digestion. So this is how starch, which is a complex sugar, is acted upon by salivary amylase, which is secreted by saliva in the salivary gland. The salivary glands, they secrete saliva, and your saliva contains an enzyme called as salivary amylase, which breaks down the complex food, that is starch, into simple food or simple sugar, that is maltose. So here we can say the food is partly digested in mouth. See, all the food particles, they didn't got digested. Only few food particles or the food digestion has just started. Okay, so food is partially digested. It is not complete. It is halfly digested. But we can say that the digestion of food starts in mouth.